In this video, I want to go through the process of UV wrapping this table. Now, it's a relatively simple model, but there are different ways that you can UV wrap it. This is one way of doing it, but there is no real right or wrong way. So I do encourage you to try to experiment yourself, but this is just my process of doing it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add new, and we'll just add in my checkered texture. So here, there we go. I'm going to press the forward slash to focus on just the model. Just close this here. I'm going to go into edit mode, press 2 to make sure I'm in edge, which I am. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the legs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the outer edges of the legs. And I'm going to UV wrap these separately. So I'm going to have basically 4 pieces for each leg. I think that's selected. Also the bottom faces as well. And do the same here. Make sure. Now I will mention though, obviously, these legs they're all the same. What would be good practice is just make the one leg UV wrap it, and then you would duplicate it 3 times rather than UV wrapping them individually. It would obviously be quicker time saving, but this is already modeled for you, so that's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to right mouse click mark seams, so that should be done now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top of the table. I'm going to mark these here. I believe that should be correct. Mark seams, a simple cube, so don't have to put too many complicated seams in there. And then we've got the draw here. Just hold Shift Alt. Now the way that I've made this table is I've actually got rid of a number of unseen faces. That's mainly because obviously the player's never going to see them if it's in game, so it's just a waste of polygons by just having them. So this cube here doesn't have like a top face. Same with this draw here, so there isn't a back face to it at all, even with this handle bit as well. So I got rid of those just to kind of clean up the model a little bit, which means it'll be a little bit easier to actually UV unwrap. So I'm going to right mouse click, mark seams on these. Whilst I'm here, I can also do the brass handle. So we'll do that, select that. Also do this as well. Whilst I'm here. This might be a little bit finicky just because it's so small and having to kind of like slowly move the camera forward. So that. So get here. There we go. That's all selected. Mark seams. So this should now be fully marked. I don't need to put any seams on here because the automatic UV will just do a nice sort of net for us for these parts anyway. So I don't have to put any edges or seams in them. So I'm going to press edge, select all. Go to edit mode, U, unwrap. Zoom in. So now we have sort of multiple different pieces that I can kind of work with. So we got the tabletop here. Then we've got this bottom face part here. And now we've got all of our pieces of the legs as well to kind of play with. Now the automated system also, you can see here that some of the pieces are quite small. So for example, this bit here, which is our draw, is quite small in comparison to a lot of other parts. So it's up to you as an artist to decide like how much detail you want to have in this draw. I would actually personally say that I want to have this a little bit bigger actually, because it could be like a focal point for the player. Maybe even the brass bits could be a little bit bigger as well because they are quite small. So I can kind of go in, maybe just give this a little bit more detail since I've got a lot of extra space to play around with. I could make use of it. Now, I'm not going to go through the process of moving and rotating these around. This is kind of give a quick help on breaking down this table here. So I would then go through the process of just scaling these down, moving them around. I would also go in and make some adjustments to some of these here. So for example, this bit here, I could leave it as it is, but I could straighten it out, for instance, like I've done with the mug. So I could, for instance, go here, auto align these edges, press right mouse button, follow active quads to straighten this out. Could do the same here as well with this. I could follow active quads to kind of straighten out a little bit. But I'm not gonna play around with this too much. I'm gonna give it to you guys to kind of experiment and play around with it to see what you can do with this table. But this is just like a little quick helpful guide to think about where you could put the seams for this table.